I was writing a cookbook, this recipe would definitely be in it. Part 2. This creamy pea salad with crunchy bagel croutons is simple, quick to make, delicious, and you can even make it ahead of time and it only gets better. The first time I had this recipe was while I was visiting family. My mom made it, and it was one of those things that I just didn't really think I was going to like. I'm not a big fan of mayo, and peas are fine, but I didn't think you could make a whole salad out of them. And boy, was I wrong. Mom said that this is a pretty popular salad where she lives. You could expect to see it at all different types of gatherings, and everyone has their own version of it. For this recipe, you're going to need thawed frozen peas, red onion, cheese, mayo, sour cream, white vinegar, salt, and pepper. That's the base of the recipe. I also added some imitation bacon bits that I had just because I need to try to find some way to use them. And also I made bagel croutons. I have bagels that have been in my freezer for a while, so I cubed them up, sprayed them with a little bit of oil, put them in the air fryer until they are nice and crunchy. You could use regular croutons too. I just happened to have some bagels that I needed to use up. I've also found that bagels make great croutons because they don't get too soggy. They tend to stay firmer longer than most croutons do. The first time I tried making it at home, I loved it and it reminded me of my trip out to Washington. But then I was thinking, it's kind of soft and I would like to have a little bit of more texture or crunch. And that's where I came up with the idea of adding the bagel croutons. One of the things that I love about this recipe is all the color. You have green from the peas, you have the purplish color from the red onions. In this case, it was yellow cheese, so you have yellow from the cheese. I had red bacon bits that I'd added on there, and it's just beautiful. It's so nice and colorful and cheery and bright. Okay, I'm done for now talking the salad up. Let's talk about how you make it. And just so you know, the version that you're seeing right now is a double recipe because we go through it pretty quickly. You begin with 5 cups of frozen peas that you thawed out in a colander. I thaw them in a colander, that way any of the excess water that's in the peas when they thaw doesn't stay in the salad and make it soggy. Once thawed, the peas get put into a bowl along with half a cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of mayo, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, salt and pepper, and a half of a small red onion diced up finely. A lot of times I'll add more than half the onion, but you just kind of have to figure out how you feel about eating lots of red onion. We love it. Next up, let's talk about cheese. I love to have a very sharp cheddar or a Gouda in this recipe. You could add a mild cheddar or an American cheese, but I think that you'd be missing that little extra pop of flavor if you did that. Now let's talk about the amount of cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? If you like cheese, you probably love cheese, and that means you might want a lot of cheese in the salad. However, it's painful to add so much cheese sometimes when I'm cooking. So, depending on how I feel, I'll add between 4 ounces and 6 ounces of cheese for 5 cups of thawed peas. You choose your cheesiness level. Speaking of choosing your level, let's talk about salt and pepper. I'm going to leave that up to you to determine. What I typically do is I put a sprinkle of salt and a sprinkle of pepper, I mix it in, and then I taste it. And then I see, does it need a little bit more? And then I keep doing that until it reaches the saltiness and the pepperiness level that I like. So you mix all of those ingredients up and you let it sit for a little bit. Preferably, you can let it sit for an hour or 2, but we ate it right after we finished this, so you can eat it right away as well. I'm guessing the bagel croutons are pretty self-explanatory. You just cube up the bagel, spray it with some oil. You can bake it in your oven, but in our case, we put it in an air fryer. After the salad had all been mixed together, I topped it with the croutons, and then I put a sprinkling of some bacon bits that I had in there. They're like a non-meat option. A lot of times you see in other recipes adding bacon to it, which I'm sure sounds delicious, so that's an option as well. By the way, I love a salad that's all chopped up and small that you could eat it with a spoon. I mean, I guess this is a salad, right? Like, I don't know. What's a salad nowadays, right? This is a salad. It's a pea salad. I don't remember if we had this with something else that night for dinner. We might have just had this for dinner. This could be your dinner. It's really good. It's yummy. It's delicious. I think it would be perfect at a barbecue. It just feels like it'd be like a nice and creamy addition to all the barbecue sides. And if you were bringing it to a barbecue, I would not put the croutons on until like right before you're going to serve it, just so they don't get too soggy. Lastly, the 6 questions I ask about every recipe. The first one is, how does it taste? This is delicious. I love it. Next one is it quick? Yes, it is. You just put all the things in a bowl. You could leave it overnight, which might make it a little less quick, but as far as getting it together, it's very quick. Is it easy? Yeah, no complicated techniques. You just put it all in a bowl. Can you freeze it? I would say no. I would not freeze this. Can you make it in bulk? Yes, you can. And the last question is, how much does it cost? That big bowl that I made was $8, so a regular portion would be $4. If you try it, I hope you enjoy it.